Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to another video. Today we're looking at what might be the greatest upset in the history of Rocket League. I'll leave you to decide in the comments down below. We're on Catalysm POV. He teams with Sphinx and Kevin on TSM. They're the #1 team in Asia for RLCS, and they're up against the defending world champions. They need no introduction, but I'll give them one anyway. It's Daniel, Atomic, and Beast Mode, and they are the greatest Rocket League team ever from North America. So the odds are stacked against APAC here. The odds are stacked against Catalysm, Sphinx, and Kevin. But these guys have been putting in some pretty good performances this year in RLCS. And this game, and all the games you're going to see in this video, are from the Esports World Cup group stage. This is the first game that these teams both played at the tournament, and everybody had NRG winning, myself included. Probably a 3-0. NRG are quite good at beating teams that they are supposed to beat. And even though they've been on a bit of a downtrend recently, very disappointing Paris Major, this is obviously a match that they are heavily favoured in. So let's see what happens next. Now, to give you a bit more info on the APAC team here at TSM, if you're not familiar with them, you will have seen them in RLCS a few times over the last few seasons, including this one, if you have been tuning in. But Catalysm is from Germany. He's an import player in APAC. He moved over there, I think, 2 seasons ago, and he's been teaming with Sphinx for a while now. Gets the first goal, and Sphinx centers it to him. Nice slot there from Catalysm. But yeah, he's been over there in Asia for a while. He's been competing for a few seasons. Sphinx and him made up 2/3 of the roster alongside Sosa last year. That performed really well. That was a 2/3 import team, and of Sphinx from Malaysia. He's a local Asian player. But this season in RLCS, they had to play with 2 Asian players. All regions had to do this. There's a region lock in RLCS now. You can only have 1 import player, so 1 player from another region, and that's Catalysm. So Kevin coming in to play with them this year. We, you know, in the Rocket League community are thinking that's probably going to be a downgrade because Sosa's a solid player from North America. Now replacing him with Kevin. This is probably going to be a step down. They're going to need to build back up from here. But the opposite seems to be the case. These guys have got a really cool play style. They kind of play, well, there's different kinds of explanations for this. I would call it hero ball. They're just going for the craziest plays all the time. And Sphinx even said in an interview that it was heavily inspired by NRG, who are known for pre-jumping, going for crazy plays. You know, not all the top teams in the world will do this. A lot of teams will pre-jump on occasion, but NRG have been known in the past when they're really clicking to go for tons of pre-jumps. And it's even to the point of looking, I would say, unreliable. But look at this pre-flip from Catalysm. It flies straight in, 2-0. He is having an incredible game here, and NRG are going to need to lock in, or it's going to be trouble at the hands of TSM. But yeah, you're going to see a lot of pre-jumps from this team as well. If you like watching pre-jump passing plays, if you like watching, you know, players trying to peak, hit their absolute best shots that they can, TSM are going to be a team you enjoy watching. Here is one pre-jump from Catalysm, and he absolutely nails it. What a pass that is mid from Kevin as well. I mean, they are absolutely clicking at the moment. Unreal stuff as Catalysm scores a hat-trick inside 3 minutes against the defending world champions. You know, when these guys are hitting their pre-jumps, when they're following up at each other and they're getting reads on each other's plays, they can really be a dangerous team. And it's not just NRG that are finding it this season. They also took Shopify Rebellion all the way to the brink in the Paris Major. They really nearly beat them. It was a 0-second goal in Game 5 from Shopify to win it. But TSM had them on the ropes. They also, I think, played very well against Twisted Minds. But, you know, they'll be the first to tell you this playstyle is not reliable. They're not trying to be reliable. They're trying to get a high peak. And if, you know, if they lose 3-0 because it didn't work, it's better than they think losing, you know, just because you played safe and got outplayed. So it's a kind of a cool way to play. I think there's something here for teams who are trying to punch up. If you know the other team's better than you, if you know the other players are better than you, then you know you're going to need to peak. You're going to need to go for something crazy. That doesn't always mean pre-jumps. It doesn't always mean most mechanics possible. It can just mean just trying to go a little bit faster, trying to be quicker around the pitch, which these guys absolutely are. But this has been a solid game from them. They're not only attacking well, they're also defending well as they keep NRG at bay once again. Final minute, and they are the team who are looking to close out with a clean sheet here and catch NRG by surprise early. We'll talk a little bit more about NRG in the next game, but let's see, can TSM close this one out cleanly as Catalysm goes for a 4th. It's off the bar. That would have been stunning to see from him. He's just going to leave his teammates to work and go back to pick up boost. That's a good challenge. Just playing the ball, making sure not to get faked, even if he is getting slightly beaten to it. Beast Mode catches him out with the demo. With the new choice of where to respawn, I'm sure he's going to be able to get back into the play no problem. And does well. Gets underneath Atomic's bump attempt and blocks Beast Mode towards the back corner. That's the game win pretty much confirmed, and now it is confirmed. TSM stunning the world champs in game 1. We're going to take a look at more games from this series and see what else happened between TSM and NRG. I don't actually remember how long this was stayed in the air for. It might have been a while. Started my intro into game 2 a little bit early. They're still going for more pre-jumps, of course. They're trying to score another one. But yeah, that will ground. Let's get into game 2. Alright, we're on board with Sphinx for game 2, and we're starting off with a fake kickoff. These guys love to pull out all the tricks, trying to surprise NRG early with that one. NRG didn't fall for it too much. But let's take a minute now to talk about NRG, because I do want to talk about them a little bit before we get deep into this video. They have been struggling. The defending world champs have not had a good end to their RLCS online season. The Paris Major didn't go well for them. The second split online was the worst one they've had as a trio. They did, I think, reasonably well in the first split. Started very badly, of course, not qualifying for the kickoff line, but then regained, winning 2 regionals in a row. So they've had a bit of an up and down season, and now as we get towards the World Championship, it's time to ask yourselves, and it's time for them to ask themselves, can they lock in and prepare to maybe go back to back? And I think, in my opinion, they might be the team with the biggest range. Well, I mean, there's been a few with big ranges, as Beast Mode comes through with a double. Nice finish as well, dunking in the first goal for NRG in the series so far. But yeah, I think NRG's range is pretty massive in terms of what they could finish. I do still consider them a contender. I think it would be foolish not to. They've obviously got tons of experience as a trio, and they have just won the most recent World Championship. And on top of that, it looks pretty open, I would say, in the world of Rocket League at the moment. When you're looking at who else is doing well, who else is doing poorly, I think KC don't look anywhere near their best. You've also got Vitality. They've got some horrible matchups, KC being the worst one in particular. You've got good matchups for them, maybe NRG, but yeah, Vitality definitely inconsistent. Haven't been consistent really ever, despite having a pretty good Paris Major. And yeah, NIP, they're finishing the season strong, but got beaten by Space Station Gaming, who got beaten badly by Falcons in the final, who honestly could have lost to Twisted Minds. So that's all to say that right now it looks pretty open. You've also got teams like Shopify Rebellion in the mix. I think there's lots of teams right now who could make a run at the World Championship, and the fact that there is no clear standout favorite, and if I had to pick one, I'd probably say Falcons. Maybe backup favorite would be, I think, Twisted Minds. They're my two that I like the most at the moment. But even if you look at what they're doing, I don't think that they're consistent. I think that Twisted Minds, yes, they've got Monkey Moon in Dickie's Arena, so it's got to be a good thing. And Falcons just had a dominant Championship Sunday Esports World Cup, but they've not had clean seasons either. And that is going to be the first goal. I forgot I was coming this early in the game, as Sphinx just guides it in. Is that, yeah, it is Catalysm again. He's just having a great day at the office here. Yeah, NRG are in the mix. All that to say, NRG are in the mix. I think if they got the right bracket like they did in Leon last year, I think they could still win this. I think they could win Worlds. However, they are going to need to be much better than they were at the Esports World Cup. They did regain from this match here against TSM and beat Furia. Honestly, Furia haven't been impressing me all that much this season. Kevin looking for the double tap. What a play that is by TSM. I mean, we've got to just quickly back it up here a second. We need to see this from Kevin's POV. I told you guys, they do love the passing plays. Beautiful pass by Sphinx. Kevin doubles it. Pass NRG. And these guys are just playing some great Rocket League right now. 2-1. Yeah, where do you guys have NRG at the moment? I think that they're round about 10th or 11th in the world, but just because I rank them that low, I still think that their chances to win Worlds are higher than some of the teams that I'd maybe power rank above them. That looked like it should have been a goal. NRG unable to put it between the posts. I definitely say that they're below the the teams like a Carmine Corp or a Gentlemates who have won Boston, I think you've got to say they've got better chances. I think NRG against Vitality would probably not be a good match either. NIP, I haven't got a clue. NIP looked great at Esports World Cup, but they've not looked good the rest of the season, so I don't know what to expect from them. I think that NRG's chances to win are probably around about that level, maybe just a little bit below the big dogs, but they're still very much a team that are dangerous on their day. Yeah, as I keep saying, let me know in the comments what you think. And also, the other discussion, like I said at the start of this video, is this the biggest upset in Rocket League history that we're currently watching? TSM from APAC taking down the defending world champions NRG. They're deserving it as well, and I think that we really have to, give credit where it's due. It's not just NRG in a slump. It's not just NRG making mistakes. TSM are playing some good Rocket League, and they played well at the Paris Majors also. As Catalysm gets another one on the turn, as Sphinx gets a second physical play involvement. 3-1, and I couldn't believe this when I was watching live. I'm thinking there's just absolutely no way this is happening. This is crazy to see, as I don't think that TSM have really had the best prep from what I've heard either. So I think they could be better as well. If they seriously bootcamp for Worlds, I think you could see this team making a run through the play-in, which would be really cool to see for the second season in a row. But the second game in a row, NRG have taken an L, so we're going to fast forward a little bit in the series and go to Game 4. NRG were able to win the next one. Let's see what happened Game 4. Alright, let's round out here. Let's go on board with Kevin, and look at this double half-flip kickoff and the reverse into the net from Kevin. The full leave ball kickoff. I absolutely love it. These guys have got some cool strats. And yeah, the nice thing about that one is you're guaranteed to get a boost on 2 players and you can't concede immediately. So if you just defend the next play well, then you're going to be more than fine. It can get sometimes a bit tricky if the opponents get a bump on someone. But these guys have obviously practiced this and they know what they're doing. But yeah, I wanted to get on board with Kevin here, see what he's up to as well. I think he's massively improved this season. I didn't expect him to be able to elevate his gameplay as much as he has. But what this guy also brings to the team, and why I think TSM have been so successful this season, is the vibes. I think this guy is absolutely hilarious. He might even be problematically hilarious with some of the comms that he puts out. An own goal by Kevin to start things off. Why not? As NRG go up 1-0. But this guy is a great personality. If you get a chance to listen to him in interviews, and honestly the whole team, Sphinx and Catalysm as well, they're just hilarious. Sphinx at the Esports World Cup is saying that they're going to lose to Vitality. There's no point in having hope in them. They're just preying on their own downfall. Yeah, they really are just a fun team to root for, and you should take any opportunity you can to tune into the content, the interviews that they're involved in. Not a team that you want to go AFK during the content for. And the reason I say maybe problematically funny is I swear some of the times I've heard comms moments from this team, the way that Kevin's speaking, I just think if I was playing with him, which, you know, he's not getting anything to worry about in that regard, because I'm not a pro and never will be. But I feel like he'd just have me laughing. He'd have everybody cracking up in the comms, and I don't know how they focus, because these guys, they seriously are. They're just trolling half the time with the way that they're talking, but having a great time. And it goes to show how important I think the loose kind of atmosphere can be for some teams in Rocket League. Every team's different. Some players need to just fully focus, try to pretend that they're not at a LAN at all, just lock in and just relax. Other players want to get hyped. Other teams just like to keep the atmosphere as carefree as possible. Look at the passing plays again. Love that they're prioritizing these. They're not just improving their mechanics throughout the season, but they're really looking for each other in the pitch. A Sphinx back pass to Kevin. Just fantastic stuff, and they're deserving of the scoreline that they've got here against NRG, who, you know, like I said earlier, are in a bit of a slump and they've not had the best run of results, but they for sure underestimated, like everybody else did, TSM in this moment. However, I've heard word on the street is that when TSM are peaking in scrims, when they're hitting their crazy plays, they can just outplay anyone. There's you know, going to be matches where it doesn't work and they look a bit silly, double committing, triple committing, and just getting counter-attacked as they overextend. But in this series, everything worked for them. They just put it all together on the pitch, and NRG are really struggling to be able to match them. However, even now, as NRG won game 3. Me watching this, I'm thinking NRG are going to win. They're going to reverse sweep. I think they, started slow, as NRG sometimes can, and now they're here to play. Now they're going to just ease past TSM, show their class, because at the end of the day, NRG are just going to be surely too good for them. But the moment never came where they were able to just fully take over the match. TSM defending well, not giving NRG any easy chances. This is great stuff from Kevin, pass 2. He'll trust his teammates, go for the boost steal, stay upfield. Now here he comes with the fake. Did he skim that? I'm not sure if he got a touch, but either way, it was a good idea. And, making sure to play ball on Beast Mode's air dribble, just forcing Beast Mode to go high. They don't just pass to each other, they also challenge for each other really well. Just a very teamy team, our TSM. And now with a minute to go, they're looking to take out NRG in 4. Defending world champs. And now here comes Sphinx with the double tap. Goes low, can't get it past Daniel. Kevin's already moved over there to the far side, and gets support from Catalysm as well. And notice that they do trust each other on the pitch. They back off a lot. Kevin, ceiling, double, reset. Going to pre-flip into it, gets a knock up into the air as he sets up the boost steal, misses it. That's a costly boost steal. Or boost steal miss, I should say. So it did give Beast Mode boost, and now he's going to use it to take control of the play. Nice play towards the corner there, just stalling. Giving time to his teammates as Kevin avoids own goaling a second time in the game. And now has to get back and help out Catalysm again, who did well to dodge the bump there. Daniel in defense, the guy that NRG want to have at the back, able to easily take control of the situation. 20 seconds to go. Catalysm past Beast Mode. He's going to stay on him. No, he's actually going to leave it for Atomic to challenge. Into the middle it goes. Double commit from NRG, but it's going to go long towards Sphinx. Final few seconds of the game. Kevin has to be careful here. Got a piece of it. Cut down it comes. What a bump by Sphinx as he knocks Beast Mode, I think it was, into the net. We're going to rewind there before we look at this overtime. This is a crazy situation. Where it was Atomic actually. Huge bump by Sphinx to knock Atomic into the net and deny the goal that looked like it might have been coming. And let's go back to Kevin for overtime. I'm not going to click through like I sometimes do. I feel like I just get lost when I do that. Hope you guys have been enjoying the Esports World Cup breakdowns, looking at other teams. I do want to make a video looking at some other teams and players. A lot of people have been asking about SSG. NIP also had a great run. Maybe need to take a look at those high-scoring games between Vitality and KC as well. See what on earth happened there. For now, it's overtime, game 4. NRG looking for the reverse sweep, and this would be series win for TSM. Kevin in reverse looking to get an outplay. Can't really get it past, but Catalysm is still waiting in the middle. Sphinx, follow up. Daniel does get it clear. Kevin decides to try and bring this one down. He had options, maybe to get a faster play into the center, but it's coming middle anyway. These guys are pinging mid passes. Now the back pass to Kevin. Middle again. Sphinx is there. He's got the free shot, and that's game. The defending world champs taking down. Don't know what happened here. It looks like, oh, it's the goal explosion. Well, that's a great freeze frame. Let's just pause it on a different frame. Yeah, the defending world champs taken down by APAC. This is easily, in my opinion, the best result in Asia Rocket League's history. We had, of course, Realize getting a win of the back in the wild card against a major region. I think it was G1. They were able to beat in Dusseldorf. That was massive for Asia. Now, off the back of a season where APAC qualifies to the World Championship through the World's play-in Lyon, you think that it can't get any better than that, especially with the region lock maybe weakening some teams. Well, wrong. Off the back of, I think, a very entertaining Paris Major, these guys have taken it one step farther, and they've taken down the world champs, who are now looking to regain before that World Championship, which would be insane. If they could do that and go back-to-back, that would be a pretty crazy thing to see. Definitely need to talk more about that closer to the time. But for now, it's TSM. Well played. Really fun team to watch. Really fun team to root for. And just a really fun team of guys. It's great personalities. And all the best to them. I hope they do well. I think in the World's play-in, it is going to be tough for them. It's definitely not going to be easy, but I think it's doable. If they bring the vibes, bring the confidence. Yeah, let me know down below what you think. Do they have a chance, or is it going to be too much? of a task, because it's a pretty stacked play, and you got Falcons in there, Foot in there. There's a lot of really good teams. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Yeah, like I said before, let me know down below. Do you think NRG regain, and was this the biggest upset of all time? Also, be sure to check out Shotcast content. We've been trying to record a little bit of content. Myself and CJ are out. Well, right now, as I'm recording this, I'm in Kuala Lumpur for FIFA E Asia. We're about to go to Casablanca for FIFA E Africa. We're trying to get some content for you guys, more interview style, just quick interviews with players. So yeah, check out Shotcast YouTube channel for that. I'm sure it'll end up on there eventually once we get everything organized. And as always, Next Rank YouTube channel. Haven't been able to record much there with Jack recently, but we are going to be again soon. Travel's been pretty tough with time zones, but luckily, as I head to Casablanca, that's in the same time zone as the UK, so hopefully it'll be a bit easier to get things lined up. But that being said, thanks again for watching this one. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.